Hello everybody, Reggie Time here again with episode who knows what, 40 something, 2, 3, 4, don't know what it is, of my playing some 30 snap poker. This is a follow on from the last video. I've literally just stopped my recording software, saved it, and then getting straight on with recording again. If you have been liking my videos, or this is the first one you've ever seen and randomly stumbled across, please do hit like, please do hit share, please do hit subscribe. I'm trying to get 1,000 subscribers by the new year, which gives me around 3.5 months. I need another 180 subscribers, so please do hit subscribe, please do hit like, and if you're in any groups or you've got any friends that like poker, please do share. Let's go. We're only going to be playing this video again for another 35 minutes because in 38 minutes Tom Duan is making his TV poker comeback, and I'm excited about it and want to watch it. Small 3-bet here. We have the 8-jack suited. We need to be seeing a flop, I think. But just 4 more big blinds pre-flop, and we're just going to get away from it really easy here if he makes a c-bet. It makes a small c-bet, but we just have so little going on. Just backdoors, not even like overcards. If we had some overcards here, if this was, I don't know, deuce 4, 8, or deuce 4, 7, so who knows what, but if we had some overcards to go with that backdoor flush draw, I could be persuaded to peel that flop. But with just a backdoor flush draw, then no. Let's let it go. Squeeze with the ace 10 off. This Actons was a weird play in the last session. What's that? 12 blinds. You'll notice I make a lot of my squeezes and out of position 3-bets really quite big. That's because I'm not particularly keen on like encouraging tons of action. Most of my pre-flop 3-bets are designed to just try and take pots down pre-flop. I'm only really interested in getting action with at the very top of my range. I'm not the sort of player who wants action with ace queen and ace jack. I'm happy just to win folds, and if we don't win the folds, then they've got like a pretty strong hand to continue with post flop. Looking the ace 10 there. Once we get 2 callers and we completely break, then there's nothing much else left to do and say. If this guy 3-bets here, we're going to 4-bet as a bluff. Well, not really as a bluff. That would be the wrong way to describe what might be the purpose of our 4-bet. We're going to 4-bet to hopefully just have him fold his equity share. And if he does call, then again, reasonable hand to play with post flop, and if he 5-bets, then it's not a difficult fold. Looks like he's just disconnected though. Either that or he's just doing some weird tanking thing. I think it's much more likely he's just disconnected. Or maybe he had his holder manager open. It's just something I strongly recommend you guys do when you're playing in these games with no hoods. Maybe he just his holder manager open and he was quickly searching for me and decided that he didn't want to play against me in a 4-bet pot, which I wouldn't blame him because I do have quite reasonably tight stats and I don't get out of line with 4-bets, so I wouldn't blame him if he 3-bet folded a hand like ace queen there or something like that. I wouldn't blame him for doing so against me. call with the ace jack off, given there's 2 fish tags in the blinds. Not going to bet too big here because we have like the queen of clubs to guard against any like backdoor club stuff coming. And he just folds anyway. Pretty reasonable flop for our ace jack over on table 1. We're going to call twice versus this guy and then decide on the river. It's a big barrel. We don't block clubs, we don't block, well, we do block 10 jack. Reasonable chance I'm going to call him down here. Especially given that we saw him in the last video, it's like donk out with like queen 10 in a 3-bet pot. I know this is very different, but it's super aggro. I think there's like plenty of draws he can have here. I mean, of course he can have ace queen, he can have pocket 9s, pocket 3s, pocket aces. But against this guy, I think we're just going to call. Lots of guys I would fold against. He did indeed have the club draw. Lovely, and he's just snapped quit as well. Happy days. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with myself there. My reads have been pretty good lately. I don't know if I've been making some good folds, but I've certainly been making some good calls. Given that we just won a reasonably big pot from him, and we're deep here, so I don't expect him to be folding too many hands to us. I'm not going to 3-bet the ace jack. I think all we're going to do by doing that is bloating the pot and putting ourselves in lots of shit spots post flop. Don't really see much point in betting for value here. Time to set mine on table 1. Oh, and we beat that set 2. Oh, it's not a particularly attractive board. I'm going to fuck around here. I'm actually going to make a small overbet. Charge draws, charge jack exits a bit timid. Take it down, whatever. If you just make a small bet there, there's like how many bad cards in the deck for us? Like any 7, any whatever, queen would it have been, any club, lots of shitty runouts there. I'm not betting to make people fold, by the way. That wasn't the purpose of that. The purpose was to like make people like pay too much to draw if they're willing to draw. Just for value, basically. I think it's sort of board where you can get a ton of action, no matter how big you bet. So therefore, we're going to bet pretty big. And it's not a board I'm going to be bluffing on very often. I'm going to be semi-bluffing with that big draws, but not like just flat out bluffing. Attempt to just call down here. Given his stack size, but we don't know what Euphra's doing. I'm just going to fold. Heads up there, I think I would just go call, and whatever. If he's flopped a pair or something, then he's going to win $4. He hasn't quit. I thought he'd quit. It seems like it just disappeared earlier. Is it the same guy? It might have been the same fucking guy. I think it is though. Was it that guy? It was that guy, wasn't it? I think. I can't remember anymore. Let's have a quick look, just so we know we're getting the right player. Right, it was Ollie Matari, whatever the fuck he's called. Kind of going to stink if I get 4-bet here, because I certainly don't want to get 150 blinds in pre-flop with just 2 jacks. I mean, it feels like we're like deep stack, but with all the wrong people. I'm kind of tempted to just rat hole, to be honest. I've no real desire to like play super deep pots with aggressive regulars. It's not really on my to-do list very often. And I don't really care what people think about that. If there's some like big fish that are deep, I'll sit and play deep all day. But if the only deep players are going to be playing like Hairy Bat, this guy, the other guy, that whatever his name is, that I can't remember, like just aggro guys, I'm not really that asked about playing deep stack poker with aggro guys that I don't know an awful lot about. Don't like the king on the turn, but he's a bit small enough that we can call. Try and spike a flush, which we do. Hope he doesn't pot it now, because that would make me sad. That's made me sad enough. Then we just probably can't fold here. We've got like what, the third nuts, fourth nuts, something like that. Ace high flush, queen high flush. Yeah, we've got the fourth nuts. Fuck it. Beautiful. No idea what that revert was all about from him. I'm glad he didn't pot it. Pot would have worked, sir. Pot would have had me folding. And that would be another set. This time against one of the better regulars, I believe, in the pool. He's not going to fall for the overbet too often, so we're just going to bet a normalish size and hope that we don't get like a 5 or an 8 or a 10 on the turn. But we just take it down, which is mildly disappointing. Please squeeze, please squeeze, please squeeze. Boo. I'll play this pot on the defensive. I think we have the aces, we have the gut shot. think we're ahead of Sandpal pretty much always. Are we ahead of Coochie Coochie? I think we just have to go. What the fuck am I talking about? I was thinking about playing it on the defensive, but with a bet and a call in front, I'm just going to go with it. And if someone's flopped a set, then they're going to get paid off, I guess. This Sandpal, I've got him tagged as a fish because he wasn't reloading the other night, but I think he might just have been suffering with the bug. I don't think Sandpal is actually a fish. We'll leave it on for now because Hodman isn't open for me to check, but I don't think Sandpal's a fish. I think he's probably going to be a regular. Normally a half pot from the button, but we've got 2 fish in the blinds. We'll just go with the 3/4 and not care. So if it was like irregulars in the blinds, I would have just stuck to my normal size, but given they've got 2 fish, then we'll just 3/4. This youth. Sorry, buddy. I thought you were a regular, but you're not topping your stack up, so you're getting the fish tag. I wouldn't be surprised if you end up being one of the guys who's just like a weak tight regular though. I won't be 4-bet bluffing someone who's got a fish tag. It's not in my to-do list today. And we've got 19 minutes, 18 minutes to, is it? No. 21 minutes to Durland. So it's totally exciting flop for the King Queen. Good turn though. Raise this turn. Hope he doesn't 3-bet, because if he 3-bets us, I'll be sad. On a pretty miserable river. Check your back up to win. Oh, Jack King. The ace probably cost us $3 there. Maybe $5. Check calling with a Jack 10 here because I like to have some top pairs to have him a check-in range, and Jack 10 seems like a reasonable one to me. And we're just going to keep checking while he keeps betting. If he doesn't bet this turn, we're probably going to lead a lot of rivers. 4 being one of them. I think he's going to have a lot of like 8s, like 8x, pocket 9s. Pocket 7s, that type of thing. I'm going to choose a size to target that type of range. And we're going to fold the ace queen to the 3x and the min 3-bet, just because we're not guaranteed to see a flop. Don't want to call 4-bet in a spot like that, really, against 2 fishy guys who I don't expect to have a ton of fold equity against, and just calling and then having someone else fucking 3-bet it, whatever. I just when I see spots like that, I just think there's a lot of problems in the future. There's not too many nice things that can happen. So I just get the fuck out of the way early and whatever, move on. A little bit nitty, for sure, but who cares? Not me. I called too quickly there. Maybe it could have took a little bit longer. Now we've been squeezed and we are deep, so we have to call. Especially now these guys called 2. 5. Where do we want the 5 to land? On the A. 5 on the A, please. Didn't even cover the A, and we didn't get a 5. Fuck you, 888. Fuck you. Look at that, tell 888 to fuck you and they give me aces. That's the level of respect I command around this town. Oh, and we get the 3-bet too. Bump this up to about 570 something, I think. 588 seems reasonable. We get snap called and we flop the absolute joint. Normally I don't recommend c-betting, but when you flop top board and you're out of position, so normally don't recommend checking in these spots, but what the fuck can he have? He's got 2 kings, he's folding. He's got 2 queens, he's folding. If he's got ace king, he's going to give us all the value we need anyway. I'm going to bet like 3 something here, I think. And just hope he finds a call. I think he's going to fold a lot here, but we have to start trying to build a pot. I expect this to work a lot as a jam for folds. I think we're going to get a lot of folds here. But again, I mean, what can we do? We can't check. He's going to just get check back kings and queens and stuff. And if he does have like the 1 remaining ace somehow, then it'd be sad if he checked that back. As you see spots like that, you flop a massive hand and you get excited, but then you realise, actually, my chances of getting paid here are not great. Miami, I remember him a long time ago. Is he German? Could be wrong. Yeah, German. Sure, he was a folding player at one point. Just 3-bet the king jack offsuit as a bluff. Way too weak to call with, a little bit too strong to fold. Everyone's calling anyway. Put me out of misery, Miami, and just 4-bet me. Put me the fuck out of my misery. Or let me flop absolute gin. Okay then. So we have a squeezed pot with 4 fish and an utterly abysmal board. And his donk bet just takes it down. Versus the 3x, this is awkward. Versus the 2x, it's like a trivial call. I don't want to 3-bet. I'm 3-betting like, if I 3-bet this, I might 3-betting way too often, I think. I don't particularly want to just call either. Fuck it, I'm just going to fold versus a 3x. Definitely on the weak side, but I'm just not that asked about defending those like marginal spots. 6-8 suited. How deep are we? Deep enough, I think. Deep enough. I have to call this flop, even though it isn't really the flop we wanted. It checks. I'm just going to check back. I think heading back's tricky enough to check raise a decent amount of flush draws here and mixed in some top pairs and stuff with that and some over pairs. Going to check back and we're going to hope to see 7 or a 6 or an 8. Oh, the 8. Happy days. That is a nice card, unless he has a set of jacks, then it's a fucking abysmal card. I think he's just going to have an absolute ton of ace king and ace queen here. I think our hand's pretty close to being invincible at this point. If he had just any kind of draw, I think he would have bet the turn. That jack's a fucking shite card for like getting paid on. I just think we're going to beat ace queen a lot here, but no value anymore. The jack of diamonds has bummed us. King ace, fair dues. We probably weren't getting much value anyway. So he just wanted to like spike his ace on the river and pay you off for like 2/3 pot, isn't it? But instead, the blue jack comes and dashes your dreams. Still, it's been a pretty good session for the 2 videos. We're getting close to the end now. Not sure how much I've won because we lost a bit at the start of that, the last video, but pretty sure we're up like a buy-in or so. Reasonable flop for the suited blue king. Pair the turn, which gives me an opportunity to check back and try and get to showdown. Playable hand, don't want to play it against under the gun who's got no money. And that's a beautiful river. Excuse me. Crystal clear race fold here. We raise, he's going to pay us off with Jack X. More pairs. Right, he doesn't have very often. Still, I mean, there's not much he can actually pay us off with, but we just get to like rep a ton of draws, so he might hero us. And if he raises, then he's always going to have us beat. We now have a royal flush draw. And he like snapped us off with King Jack there, which I understand because like the diamonds missed. Could check raise here. Maybe we should check raise here. The board is going to be c-betting a lot, I guess. And muck the ace-10 versus middle position, who doesn't have many chips. I think there's a reasonable chance we're going to get squeezed by this fish that isn't a fish here, but we'll try and see a flop. I don't want to squeeze myself. Again, we're getting super deep now with this white fish we know nothing about. And then we're going to be out of position with like a hand that's usually going to be marginal in a 3-bet pot deep. That's not a scenario when I hear myself say it back that I want to be creating for myself too often. That is one hell of a turn barrel. What notes do we have? So it's aggressive, 3-bets 8-7 off versus a steal. I just don't think this is the size people make without having a flush. Really don't. So it's going to fold. And we're completely giving up with a 7-9. We might delay the c-bet. If he checks to us again, we might just like bet twice. Or she, sorry. Bets 120, we have absolutely nothing. no shame in giving up there. If you're not convinced, go and find, I think it's a Kenny Rogers song about poker, and he'll tell you. If it was Kenny Rogers, if it wasn't, I apologise to whoever it was, but he'll tell you sometimes you've just got to know when to hold them, and etc, etc, etc. A little bit loose with the 6-7, but we've got 2 fish and then the fish that isn't a fish. And we're completely bricked again. And we're just going to completely give up again. Eight minutes to Dursville. 8 minutes to Durland. Shame to leave these games because they are looking pretty good. I don't like leaving good games, but it is 1 AM. I have been up again for the last 16 hours. I've been getting up at 9 o'clock in the morning quite a lot recently. Not by design, more just by it's happening. So I'm a little bit tired. I've got something I want to watch on Poker Go and whatever. Another day I would just continue playing these games as long as they were running, but tonight is not going to be that night. We just have to call the 90-70. We have like mega reverse implied odds going on, but it's like such a small 3-bet. And we're going to flop trips. Normally with 3-bet this versus hairy bat, but we're deep. He's going to call a lot. He's going to defend pretty wide because we're deep, and we just like Thatcher him by calling. So we'll take a slightly different perspective on the hand just because of the big blind. If the big blind wasn't a fish, I probably would have just gone ahead and 3-bet it anyway, or maybe folded it. Yeah, we just sucked out 1 aces. Are we going to hold? Of course we are. Handyman doesn't have an ace. I don't think he checks an ace twice. So we like Rivers pocket deuce or something like that, and you look at it, but whatever. Yeah, so we're going to end the video now. The dirt comeback starts in 6 minutes, and I want to go and put the kettle on. So we're going to play around to our blinds. In the last video, we just clicked sit me out because we were coming straight back, but we're ending the session this time, so we're going to play around to our blinds, which is just standard good practice. Most of you guys will already know that. Any beginners, if you are ending your session, always make sure that you just play around to your blinds, click sit out next big blind and play around to them. Take all the free hands, all the hands that you paid for, not free hands, but you played your blinds, so keep playing till you're forced to play the next one, then sit out then. And there we go. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Another nearly 35-minute video. Please do keep hitting the likes, keep making the comments, keep hitting the shares, and keep subscribing. Well, not keep subscribing, because once you've done it, I guess. But whatever. Fuck it. I'm off to go and watch Take care, everyone. Bye for now.